From the outside, the picture is flawless. You hit the milestones, acquired the titles, and played every role expected of you to perfection. But inside, the engine is running on empty. The identity you built to get here feels like a suit you've outgrown, leaving a quiet, hollow echo where a sense of purpose used to be. You aren't broken. This deep exhaustion is the natural byproduct of an unmanaged life transition, the gap between who you were trained to be and who you actually are. Pushing for external achievements without internal alignment eventually stops creating forward progress. Instead, it traps you in years of constant looping, researching, waiting, almost deciding, and never quite arriving. This endless cycling is driven by a hidden engine, karmic loops. These are subconscious, inherited patterns of behavior that dictate your choices before you even realize you've made them. We see this clearly in perfectionism. If you were raised on conditional praise, you learn to over-prepare and fear making mistakes. You wait until everything is flawless before allowing yourself to be seen, leaving you vibrating in place. Then there is the burden of being the strong one. You carry everyone else's problems, anticipate their needs, and never ask for help, mistaking self-neglect for resilience while silently collapsing under the weight. These are not your personality traits. They are protective habits built for survival. Unless actively dismantled, they will keep you locked inside an inherited identity that no longer serves you. The way out of this cycle is to move from karma, the repeating pattern, to dharma. Dharma is your soul's truth, the embodied purpose you came here to live. Guiding this specific transition is the life's work of Nikita Thakrar, an educator and mentor, who has spent over 2 decades guiding high achievers through the complex shifts of a spiritual identity recalibration. Through her platform, Journey with Nikita, she has built a definitive framework. It provides the methodology for those ready to move from unconscious living into a life of purpose-led action. You cannot simply think your way out of a karmic loop with another mindset trick. Breaking the cycle requires a structured, guided recalibration of your entire identity. That recalibration happens inside the Dharma Diploma. It is a 9-month guided personal transformation journey built to stabilize exactly who you are becoming. This process takes 9 months because real change cannot be rushed. Rewiring your identity demands nervous system safety and paced integration, leaving no room for quick fixes or surface-level motivation. Phase 1 is Discover. Here, you ground your nervous system to create a baseline of emotional freedom. You then move through Develop and Design, merging deep spiritual insight with practical everyday boundaries. This translates your inner growth into real-world expression. Without this chronological structure, spiritual concepts just accumulate in your mind. You gather insight, but your day-to-day life remains exactly the same. To see how this applies, look at a recent client. She arrived trapped in a cycle of people-pleasing, constantly staying silent and terrified of conflict in her workplace. Nikita guided her through a deep recalibration, balancing the energy centers governing self-expression and self-worth, while regulating her nervous system. They built the internal safety required for her to finally use her voice. The actual measure of this work arrived through a soul assessment, an aggressive, close-quarters confrontation from a colleague. Instead of shrinking, the client remained calm, answering with a measured tone and a steady heart rate. Her identity shifted at the root. She navigated the conflict with a composure that neutralized the tension entirely, passing the assessment that once paralyzed her. This illustrates the core mechanic of the diploma. By training the nervous system to remain regulated under pressure, you replace habitual karmic reactions with conscious, self-led choices. Graduates of the Dharma Diploma do not leave the program as someone brand new. They return to a grounded, quiet certainty of who they already are. The mental noise clears. Overthinking drops away, giving rise to decision-making rooted in clarity and the ability to hold firm personal boundaries without a trace of guilt. You are not here to spend your years performing an identity that isn't yours. If you choose to ignore the call to live your Dharma, your life will simply continue to fragment. The Dharma Diploma is highly selective and application-based. It is built strictly for those who are ready to stop circling, stop researching, and start stabilizing their true path. You can engage through 2 routes, the self-paced path of self or the highly mentored path of support featuring direct guidance from Nikita. With intakes opening in January, April, and September, your next step is to apply for a conversation to ensure this journey aligns with exactly where you are. Karma is the pattern. Dharma is the purpose. Which one are you living?